Whew, I choked in dance class. And I want to tell you about it. Kind of embarrassing, I know, but I thought it might be fun. So I took a hip hop class recently. It was my first hip hop class in a while, like a long time. I can't even remember the last time I've taken a hip hop class. I've only taken about a handful of them in my life. And, I went into it pretty confident, feeling like I'm going to do great. It's a beginner level. It's going to be fine. And for the first half, I was definitely right. But the second half, I was like suddenly struggling. And it's not like I lost dance ability, right? Like you don't just like lose your abilities out of nowhere, right? But what I did lose was my attention. So let me tell you what happened. Let me walk you through it. And don't worry, at the end, I will show you. I will show you a video, okay? And we can all laugh together. So what happened? And by the way, I'm going to use notes, okay? I have a lot I want to say, and I don't want to forget anything. And I want to make these videos faster. And I only have time after my workday. So I realize I can't be as perfect as I want to be about it. I just got to make them and get them posted. So thanks for rolling with it. Okay, so what happened? This is my first hip hop class that I've taken in a number of years. Part of why I felt confident going into it is because I'm already a dancer. I'm an advanced West Coast swing dancer. I've been dancing on teams for the last 3 or 4 years, doing partner dancing and country line dancing. So I'm used to memorizing that type of choreography. So I figured a beginner choreography hip hop class wouldn't be so bad, wouldn't be that hard. And again, it seemed great for the first half. But then the second half, the class started to feel like it was picking up pace, which it might have actually been, or it might have just been because I felt like I was falling behind. The teacher did still go over time because his choreography was too long to fit within the class time. So it might have been that at that point he was looking at the clock being like, oh, I got to get this rolling or we're not going to make it through. But what also happened was one tiny little anxious thought. And you'd think like one little baby anxious thought, like what's that going to do? Like it's going to be fine. It's not going to do that much. I had a different experience. It did. It definitely had an impact. And my little anxious thought was, am I falling behind? Like, am I the only one not getting this? Because I kept ending up on the wrong foot for the new section that he was teaching. And I could hear him explaining like he was about to move on to the next thing. And I still didn't have it. And up until that point, it was very easy for me to pick everything up. And then I noticed the anxiety started to spiral. And it was like a runaway train, like one little anxiety thought and zoom, lots of anxiety thoughts. So let's take a look at some of the research around this. So a 2005 study called When High-Powered People Fail, Working Memory and Choking Under Pressure in Math. This study, okay, it's about math, not about dance, not about a hip hop class, but still very relatable. So they looked at, can pressure and worry consume your working memory? So they were doing math problems. I was doing hip hop. Tomato, tomato, okay? Now our working memory is essentially our temporary mental workspace for what we're working on right now. So I definitely was using that to think about counts, steps, arm movements, what comes next, what is the order of the steps, making sure that I'm memorizing the choreography. So the working memory was definitely very active and had a lot of responsibility then. But then to add on top of that, am I falling behind? do I look stupid? Am I the only one not getting this? Like, what's happening? Then my brain was doing two jobs. It was learning choreography and it was monitoring if I'm failing and how badly I'm failing. Okay. So again, it's not like I didn't lose my dance ability. I lost my attention. And that did impact my dance ability, unfortunately. So another study in 2010, Performance Anxiety Experiences of Professional Ballet Dancers, the Importance of Control. They interviewed professional dancers on performance anxiety. And one of the important themes, at least one that I resonated with, was the amount of perceived control. So dancers reported that they had more performance anxiety when they felt like they were out of control. They also found in this study that mental and cognitive anxiety was prominent or more present than actual physical anxiety, and that cognitive anxiety is universally seen among these dancers as hurting performance, that some physical arousal dancers felt could be helpful, and that even principal dancers experienced significant anxiety. So even people who are like top dancers, top in their field, the most accomplished, they still feel anxiety. It feels really like validating, right? Like it's not just me. Even the professionals struggle from time to time. So the takeaway from that one, at least for me, was that anxiety isn't necessarily the enemy, but how you interpret it, which I've heard this before, that if we see it as it harming us, it's going to harm us. If we see it as we're getting ready, this is good, it's making us alert, it's preparing us, then it's actually helpful. So how did I focus and pull myself back into the room so that I could continue to learn the choreography once my anxiety started, running off? Well, I did the worst thing possible and I looked around. Well, that was actually before. I noticed myself looking around. I noticed I was anxious. I was feeling out of control. And this probably happened all within like 30 seconds. It probably wasn't a long time, maybe a minute. I called myself on it like, girl, you are anxious. You got to calm down. You're spiraling. And so I just started to like self-soothe and talk to myself positively to try to calm that chatter. Saying things like, Corinne, you are a good dancer. You're an advanced West Coast swing dancer. You're like a 6-time world champion for teams. You're a good dancer. This is a beginner class. This is fun. This is fun learning new things and being in dance class with your dance friends. This is a cool thing. And you've got it. You're smart. You know how to learn choreography. I don't know if you can hear that, but my doodle is digging in his dog bed. He's trying to find a cozy spot. Hey, Munchkin. Yeah, hi. Can you lay down, please? We're not done digging yet. Hold, please. What was I talking about? Oh, he's still digging. I'm going to look at my notes. I was calming myself down. Yeah. Okay. I skipped some steps, but that's okay. Another study, 2012, called Choking Under Pressure, the Role of Fear of Negative Evaluation. Okay. So this one, sports psychology study, looking at the concern of being negatively judged. So my triggering thought wasn't, I just forgot the steps. It was, am I the only one not getting this? Am I falling behind? So that is comparison, It's evaluation, looking around, trying to get reassurance, seeing what everyone else is doing. And by doing that, I'm not looking at the teacher. I'm not present in the moment. I'm not paying attention, and I am missing more material. Yeah, that's not a good coping strategy. I would say the only caveat to that is if you're in a packed class and you can't see the teacher, you're obviously going to be learning the dance from watching the people in the row in front of you. Which I was at that point. I was not in the front because we had kind of moved around. So that might have been another piece of it, because I couldn't see as well. The class was moving faster. At that point, I hadn't established who to watch. Like sometimes when I'm in a dance class, I can see like who's picking it up quickly, who has a higher skill level that's near me, and I'll watch that particular person instead of trying to split my attention between watching, everybody in the front row. I'll just watch like one dancer in the front row or in the row in front of me, depending on where I am. So in hindsight, I think that was a piece as well, because I hadn't established who to watch in front of me in my new spot, because we had just danced in groups so we could have more space on the floor, and then everybody else came back to the floor, so we were all in like new spots at that point. So let's see, what did I just say? Okay, looking away from the teacher, got it. So the other piece of this is the anxiety loop that gets started. So I had the anxious thought, I'm falling behind, then I'm checking everyone else, then I'm not fully paying attention to the class, I'm missing more choreography, and then the anxiety voice is saying, look, see, haha, you are falling behind. I was right. But had I just paid attention, I might have not fallen even further behind. So then I told you about how I caught myself and kind of calmed myself down, talked to myself nicely, being my own cheerleader. The thing that I did not do that I could have done, and I hope I remember next time, is I could have reminded myself that anxiety isn't always bad. Anxiety is also preparation. It's also making sure we're more alert. So even though I know it was because I was worried I was falling behind, I could have still sold myself on the idea that like, no, this is good for you, actually. You're going to excel because of this. I could have done that. I could have also given myself instructions in my self-talk. I could have said, here are the next 3 things you need to do. You need to take a deep breath, you need to focus on the teacher, and you need to tell me the next 8 counts. Like you need to get the next 8 counts or pay attention, or like I could have given myself some directional cues to help me to further pull myself back into the present moment. A 2012 study, Mind Over Matter, Reappraising Arousal, Improves Cardiovascular and Cognitive Responses to Stress, showed that physical arousal does not equal proof that something is wrong. Instead of saying, oh no, I'm anxious, you have to calm down, which is what I did. You can also say something like, okay, I'm anxious, and I can still dance while I'm anxious, and this is going to make me more alert, etc. So the goal isn't about eliminating anxiety completely, because if we've learned anything from that prior study about the ballerinas, the professional ballerinas, is that you're not going to totally eliminate anxiety forever, like performance anxiety forever, whether you're dancing or giving a speech or presenting at work, in a meeting, whatever it is. You're not going to ever be able to fully get rid of anxiety. It's going to be there sometimes, So it's not a matter of if it shows up again, it's more a matter of when. So the goal then is choosing where my attention goes despite the anxiety that creeps up from time to time. Because I can choose to redirect it. I can choose to redirect my attention. So, skilled people, highly skilled people, professionals, what was it, principal? I almost said prima ballerina, but principal dancers, that's the term. Principal dancers still get anxious, right? So skilled people get anxious. And anxiety doesn't mean you're like incapable or unprepared. And being confident doesn't mean you never get anxious. Confidence means that you have some competence. It could be competence that you're able to learn new skills, that you have a brain, that you're resilient, or it could be competence in the actual skill that you're working on. Like, for example, I do have those things in competence, like I have a brain, I have the ability to learn, etc. But I also have competence in that I'm already a dancer and I already have success being a dancer. So I don't know if you've heard of the competence loop. If you draw like a half circle with an arrow and then another half circle with an arrow, so they're constantly influencing each other, that's the competence loop. So as you increase one, the other also increases. And it doesn't matter which one you work on. So confidence, I think, is also about knowing that you can come back. You can come back out. You can try again. That resilience piece. Yeah. So let's watch the footage together. I am going to mute it within this YouTube video so that I can maybe one day monetize. That would be so fun. But I will put a link in the description below to like the shorts or reels version of the video that will have sound, so you can watch it with sound. And in that video, definitely go and put some like laugh emojis in the comments. Maybe laugh and heart emojis. Like, ha ha ha, this is so funny you choked, but also I love you. Yeah? Okay, let's watch. All right, so I have 3 recordings of this, twice in smaller groups like you see here, and then one of like the whole class together where you can see kind of we're more packed in. But this was the first attempt, and I'll just kind of let you form your own opinions. I'm there in front with the witchy shirt on and the hat. Something that happened after the anxiety spiral moment, even though I took time to calm myself down, I didn't fully recover back to the level of working memory and confidence that I had when I started the class. So it was a lot harder for me to learn the second half, but then it also impacted the first half of the dance. So the first half originally, I was much more confident in dancing more full out, but then I felt insecure kind of throughout the rest of the class at like lower levels. So here I am with the friends that I went with. Right next to me is Haley. She's awesome. And then there's 2 other dancers behind us that we came with. So you can see like my facial expression. You can tell I'm hesitant. I'm having a hard time remembering. I'm missing things. I'm on the wrong foot. I'm late. So cute little baby dancer. Anyway, I hope this helps you. You're not alone. You're not the only one that chokes in class. That was entertaining, wasn't it? You got to watch me choke and be self-conscious and anxious and be really bad, like really bad at hip hop. That's okay, it happens. Thanks for watching, and I really hope this serves as like a positive example to dancers that look up to me, or even if you're not a dancer, even if you, I don't know, just like to learn about studies or overcoming overcoming things, or being okay at being bad at something and other people seeing it, or whatever your reasoning is. I hope this is inspirational and a positive example. I know people look up to me for my dance ability, just like I look up to other dancers for their dance ability. And being able to laugh at themselves, knowing that they still make mistakes, knowing that they get anxious. So just like those dancers share that sort of content, which helps me to keep going, I want to share this to help the dancers that look up to me. If you could like, subscribe, share, and comment, that would be wonderful. Just comment laughing emojis in the comments. You don't even have to write words. Just put laughing emojis. That'd be great. And thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye.